Imagine walking into a home that feels calm and comfortable, even if it's taking you years to get there. Our 7-year decluttering journey has taught us tough but encouraging lessons. In this video, I'm going to show you the 3 biggest truths that reduced our stress and guilt and can help you feel hopeful about your own space too. By 2023, we had already decluttered a huge amount of our belongings. There were a few areas left to tackle, but most of the excess was gone. And honestly, I felt like I got really good at decluttering, maybe even ruthless. I can move fast, make decisions easily, and by this point, I was rarely second guessing myself. But then came the double stroller. By this point, even if I wanted to keep using it, the kids were simply too big and we had absolutely no room left in our garage for it. So we listed it on Facebook Marketplace, and that same night, a couple came to pick it up. And I noticed something strange as I was handing it over. I was over-explaining how it worked. I was asking all these details about their own kids. I could feel myself acting weird, honestly, a bit unhinged. And that's when it hit me. This wasn't just a stroller. This stroller had become part of my identity. I had become a mom of 2 under 2, a season that was intense, exhausting, and not always joyful. Walking with that stroller had become my therapy. We planned errands around where we could fit it in. We bought a car to accommodate it. We took it on trips. And I remember the exact moment we brought it home. That stroller meant this is our life now. I had cried before decluttering sentimental items, especially when I had lost my dad, but this was different. This was the first time I got emotional about something practical. It was just a pile of rubber and metal. And that's when I realized it's never just stuff. There's always a story, a feeling, a memory. Some categories are easier to declutter than others, absolutely. But most of the time, there's more going on than we realize. And this is lesson number 1. You are not crazy. You are not being dramatic. It's not just stuff. Even simple everyday items can carry emotion. That $75 bottle of expired vitamins that you now feel guilty throwing out. Or those doom piles on your dining room table that are making you feel like you are falling behind. Or that cluttered spare room that reminds you your body isn't able to maybe do what it used to. These feelings are real and these feelings are valid. But how does this help? Because this mindset shift can release us from the shame, confusion, or embarrassment we carry around when decluttering. It's a reminder to stop being so hard on ourselves. It's okay if we're sad letting go of baby clothes, even if it was 10 years ago when we finally accepted we weren't able to have a second child. It's okay to be angry with your dad when you're stuck sorting through all his stuff after he died. It's okay to feel triggered when you throw out expired food if you grew up with food insecurity. Every single client I've worked with has something that feels disproportionately emotional. So it's makeup or an old box of candles or their university textbooks. To anyone else, it might seem completely meaningless, but for them, it's a chapter, a version of themselves that they're letting go of. I've had clients disappear mid-session because they just simply needed a breather. And I get it, it's not always easy. We all bring our own stories to the process. Our home is filled with them. One of my favorite quotes that has nothing to do with decluttering, but everything to do with being human is never apologize for who you are. It lets the whole world down. I keep this quote in my wallet as a daily reminder, and I think it applies so beautifully here. Decluttering isn't about just letting go of stuff. It's about honoring who you are and who you've been, and that deserves time, space, and compassion. It was around this same time that I learned lesson number 2. If you feel like you wrap up a decluttering project and then before you know it, another one rears its ugly head, then this lesson is probably for you. When I first started creating videos for YouTube and Instagram, I did a lot of declutter with me, so showing exactly what we were getting rid of from our own home. And after almost every video, I would panic and think, oh no, there's nothing left to declutter. What am I gonna film now? But sure enough, a couple of weeks would pass and I would think, oh, I guess I need to tackle that bedroom now. Or, oh, that linen closet is looking like a chaotic mess. That pattern repeated itself for years. Panic, more clutter. Panic, and then bam, more clutter. And eventually I had to tell myself, Mary Ann, the stuff is going to keep coming. Because here's the reality. We are humans living in North America in the 21st century, which means decluttering isn't something you do once and then just check off your list. It's something we do forever. And that is lesson number 2. You have to keep decluttering. Forever might sound intense or depressing, but there are actually some great things that come from accepting this. Number 1 is you get really good at it. Like anything, practice makes you better. I've seen clients go from totally overwhelmed on day 1 to absolute pros by day 3 or 4. It's one of my favorite things to see. And even if it doesn't feel like you're improving, you probably are. Number 2 is that a decluttering routine makes everything easier. Everyone's routine looks different, and that's okay. Some people love doing a 30-minute declutter every Friday at 5 p.m. Other people love doing a huge overhaul every October. Others just jump in whenever they feel like there's just too much stuff. It doesn't have to be rigid. Even inconsistently consistent counts. But the key is to make it part of everyday life and not just a panic response. Number 3 is that knowing that eventually you probably have to declutter almost everything that comes into your house means that you're probably going to become more intentional about what you let in. Because less stuff coming in means less stuff you have to manage. And this has so many hidden perks. Saving money, spending less time shopping, and less decision fatigue. And if you want a simple way to jumpstart your own decluttering, I've created a free resource to help you declutter faster and with more confidence using the exact questions we use with our clients. You can grab it right now. The link is at the very top of the description box below. Okay, so we know decluttering isn't a one and done event, but the next question is how? How do we keep going without burning out or giving up? And that brings me to lesson number 3. In 2018, my husband Scott and I finally admitted that we were nearly $80,000 in debt. It sucked. I hated thinking about it. I hated talking about it. And honestly, I kind of hated everyone who wasn't $80,000 in debt. But there were no options. I couldn't avoid it for another second. So we sat down and made a plan to start the painfully slow process of paying it off. I was on maternity leave at the time, which meant lower income, which meant an even slower start to this process. Our first plan was to pay it off in 5 years with a few $100s every month. Some months we would, get a cash gift, a Christmas gift from Scott's parents, and we'd put those few $100s towards our debt. Maybe another month we would sell enough of our old stuff that we could put another extra $200 on our credit card. Every few months I would comb through our budget to see other ways we could cut expenses and put more on our debt. It was slow, it was boring, it was unglamorous. But after about a year of chipping away, we looked up and realized we were way ahead of schedule. If we kept going, we might actually pay this off in half the time. So that's exactly what we did. We put our heads down and kept working. Then just months away from our final payment, our roof started to fall off. Literally shingles blowing away in the wind. It was so discouraging. We had to completely pause our payments on our debt and focus on the roof and paying for that. But after a few hard months, we pulled our socks back up, got back to work, and by the end of the year, made that final payment. So what the heck does this have to do with decluttering? Well, just like tackling big money goals, when it comes to decluttering your home, chipping away works. And this is lesson number 3. It might sound tedious and slow, but if you keep going, it will work. But how do you chip away without losing your mind in the process? Let me show you. Number 1, track your progress. This isn't everyone's favorite, but I love it. There are so many different things you can track. How many items you're getting rid of, how long you're spending decluttering, the spaces you've tackled, whatever feels motivating and helpful. We have made huge progress just by seeing that we're moving forward. Number 2 is to roll when the motivation strikes. When the motivation to purge hits, roll with it. Even if it's just for an hour, we can make huge progress with these high motivation bursts. If your usual habit is 20 minutes a week, but one sunny Saturday you feel like tackling the entire basement, do it. You may only get this energy once or twice a year, but when you feel it, just flow with it. Number 3 is to focus on the long-term goal without getting distracted by perfection. It's so tempting to want to see a space completely perfect before moving on. But the truth is, our spaces are all connected. Decluttering one space might mean shifting things, rehoming things from that area to a room that you thought you already finished. Try not to let that discourage you. We see this in client homes all the time, but over time, as each space gets a little lighter and more organized, the whole home starts to shift. Instead of aiming for picture perfect, aim for progress, less stress, and more peace. A friend recently sent me a quote for work, but I thought it was perfect for today's video. The sooner you accept that it's going to take longer than you want, the sooner it happens faster than you expect. Yes. Keep your head down, stay focused on the bigger picture, and just keep moving forward even if it feels slow. Okay, so those are the 3 big lessons I've learned after 7 years of decluttering. It's never just stuff. You have to keep going, and chipping away works. Decluttering our home isn't about perfection or living in an empty white box. It's about creating a home that feels peaceful and functional and aligns with your current season of life. So if you're ready to get started or you want a little extra momentum, I have a video where I outline the categories that I recommend tackling first for quick results and a big sense of relief. You can check it out right here. Thanks you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.